Hello everybody and welcome to Bedford Square here in the heart of Bloomsbury in central London. And I have to show you this square because the sheer number of famous figures that lived here over the years is quite astonishing. But before I show you the many blue plaques on the buildings here, let's have a look at Bedford Square Gardens. So pretty magnificent just in there. Private, of course, access only for residents with key holders, but I should be able to give you a little zoom up just like that. So early May here in London, so everything looking pretty green. There was some rain earlier which has cleared up, and you can see just the post office tower with blue sky just behind there. So I'll show you more of the gardens as we move around the square, but what we'll do is go anti-clockwise around the square here, and I'll show you the details. And what I do like are these lamps here. I mean, just look at that. They're a bit wider. The width is more impressive than some of the other lights in London. In fact, what I mean is the one at the end of this row here. So you can see there it's quite a bit fatter than the thinner one in the foreground of the screen, but we'll have a closer look at that as we get there. And let's have a look up here. So our first blue plaque here is Ram Mohan Roy, 1772-1833, Indian scholar and reformer. So you can read that one. And straight away we've got Elizabeth Jessler Reed, and a little bit there. And here you've got Maggs Brothers, which is quite a posh antiquarian bookseller there. I think that's their offices and premises. But Bedford Square, typical of Bloomsbury, you've got these wide pavements, the beautiful gardens there with the London plane trees, the lights there. So all quite pleasant really. And we'll find probably a blue plaque on almost every other building. And let's go over here. So showing you, looking back there, it's pretty much a unblemished row of Georgian 18th century, early 19th century architecture. And in there you have a bit more of the gardens there. Nice pristine green lawn, a few benches and your London plane tree. And of course these black railings, they're the Bedford's estates. These black railings are typical of the Bloomsbury Square style, or the squares of Bloomsbury, this being Bedford Square. You have these private gardens with these black railings all around. And there's what I mean. Look at that masterpiece right there. You have Centre Point just up there. And let's have a look over here. Yeah, it's turned out to be a pretty pleasant, warm afternoon now. It was quite a bit of heavy rain earlier today, but it has cleared up, so it's looking a bit better. And there you go, there's Thomas Whately, Reformer, 1795-1862, and Thomas Hodgkin, 1798-1866, physician, reformer and philanthropist. So again, just another two notables who lived at some point here in the Bedford Square. And just let me pan it right around there. I mean, that's just quite magnificent. You've got the row there, terraced Georgian properties with the chimneys, all uniform, all good, and black railings, the wide pavements, the black cabs. It's your typical London scene here. And on the north side again, you can see just an unblemished, pristine terrace row of properties. In fact, I suspect very few would be residencies. There will be several that will be converted flats and apartments, very expensive, beautiful apartments, but I suspect that quite a few of these will be offices or connections to the University of London, which is of course in this area. But bringing you over here to show you this London plane tree here. I mean, look at that. It's absolutely splendid just there. So enjoy that, and swing you right around like that, and showing you some of the upper floors there. And there you have another example of that lantern with the fatter glass design. And again, another stunning example of a plane tree, which I believe is actually a hybrid. The London plane is the child of two separate parent species. I think one of them with a Turkish origin in that Eastern Mediterranean area. And again, another magnificent tree, and in the background there, the uninterrupted, pristine row of properties there, and showing you just the other side. In fact, I thought there would be more blue plaques over there. There's one in the corner which we'll have a look at. So quite a decent view though. In fact, if I move it like that, you can just see the top of Centre Point. So and you've got this, which is quite unusual for London, this very wide pavement area, which looks as though there possibly was road here and it's been sort of changed over the years. But I do need just to have a look, see what's over here. And this is Sir Harry Ricardo, mechanical engineer born here. So, as we're right by the British Museum, I think we might as well have a look. Look at that, we'll just cross over here. The date is May the 6th, I believe, May the 5th, May the 6th, it's Thursday, May the 6th, I think. So, after the rain, there's plenty of greenery now, and the sunlight just brings it all out. So, this is just the back of across the road from Bedford Square. I forget what this little bit's called, but it's pretty pleasant. You've got some benches there, over there as well. And yeah, this I think is connected to the university. I think this is all private. I've never seen anyone wandering about down there, but it's quite a nice place. And there you go, there's the magnificent, stately white pillars there of the British Museum. And we'll have a look. I did feature it in a previous video, but in very different weather conditions. It was all a bit grey on that time, so this is a chance to see it with a bit of sunshine. And you've got these, I mean, even the entrances or exits are in a sort of Egyptian, you could say, mausoleum style, quite striking there. And you've got these black railings with gold tipped ends, plane trees. And just hugely impressive high windows there and the pillars. This white construction, it's pretty ugly, is your sort of security tent, I guess you could call it, where they check people's bags and whatnot. And the museum being closed at the moment, there's of course no activity here. I'm not sure when it's due to open, but hopefully not too far in the future. And there's one of your lions there. You've got two just side by side by this door here. This is one of the back entrance or exits to the museum. We're not on the front side, but immediately in here you've got the Asian galleries. So as I'm quite interested in Buddhist art, I like to have a look. You've got your China, Korea and Japan rooms full of very special artifacts, great history. And there's a little bit there, King Edward VII galleries. The stone was laid by His Majesty King Edward VII on the 27th of June in the 7th year of his reign. So he reigned from 1901 to 1910. Is that? Something like that. That's another look at the lion there. But just look at the way the sun is catching those pillars there. Little chunk of blue sky. Just a very pleasant late spring afternoon here in central London. And let's see on this sign here if they say what's coming up. No, that's just a generic sign there. So the main entrance is on Great Russell Street, which is the other side of this building. And it looks as though nothing is happening at the moment, but I'm sure that will change. On the other side here, you've got building part of Senate House connected to the London University of London. And this side of the building is where the Classics Library is, so Greek and Roman history library. So inside there are several very impressive rooms full of books for the students on Greek and Roman classics, and that's Senate House just over there. And let's continue. I always see a connection between the feel and look of this part of Bloomsbury with perhaps part of the area of the Upper East Side, New York City, the so-called Museum Mile on Fifth Avenue, where the Metropolitan Museum of Art is in New York City. There's the same kind of feeling here, a sort of sedate, more relaxed feeling than the commercial and retail parts of the city. So certainly in London, it's a good antidote to what is normally the bustle of the West End, of the theatre, cinema, retail and restaurant zones. And this is very much more laid back, relaxed scene here. There's your London double-decker bus. And showing you down there, where I am now is Russell Square, and we're just crossing over into Russell Square Gardens. But that's quite a nice scene there. You've got 3 London double-decker route masters, as they're called, in that classic style. This is Russell Square Gardens, and you can see it's just a super pleasant place. There's often a fountain in the centre there. You've got a cafe over the other side, and it's full of London plane trees, which are just 3 or 4 weeks away from their optimum condition, which would be sort of June and July. So just a pleasant scene here. So that's going to be it. That's just a 20-minute slice of Bloomsbury, really featuring and starting with Bedford Square, crossing over to look at the British Museum, and ending here in the Russell Square Gardens. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.